Oh, y'all couldn't hear me. Y'all couldn't hear me. Hopefully, y'all can hear me now. Hopefully, y'all can hear me now. I had to turn the mic on, man. I didn't have the mic on. Let's see what the settings say. All right, cool. There we go. Hopefully, we good now. Hopefully, we good in here. There we go. Hopefully, you guys can hear me now. I think I was talking for that whole 10 minutes and you ain't have no audio. Let me know if that happens again. All right, so let's get it like this, man. Where was I at? Rational thinking. How rational thinking could be counterproductive to the thing you want to do. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, you thinking the way everyone else is thinking ain't going to get you something that none of y'all ever seen before. You got to think differently. And a lot of people are going to call you crazy for wanting to do something. But once you do it, they're going to call you a genius. That's how it works. If you want to know if you got a great idea, tell somebody close to you. Like, try to find someone to tell you that you can't do it. And if you truly believe on the inside there's something you can accomplish, something that you can not just do, but you can also just knock it out the park, man. Then why not? Why not? Why not go for it? There's 2 types of pain in this world. If you're going to go for something you want to do, something that you love, something that is going to make this life that you live in significant. There's 2 types of pain you're going to have to go through. Either you got to choose one or the other. And this is it. There's the pain of doing it, which is very minute. It's small. Or there's a pain of regret. That's massive. That's something you got to live with your whole life. That's a pain that never stops giving. To be honest, I'm going to take the easy route, which is literally the pain of doing it. I'd rather not live with regret. That's not what I'm trying to do here. Regret is not something that I can stomach, let alone do I want to digest. It's not my thing, man. It's not my thing. Whew. And while we're sitting, my man Mike Frantigello, man, shout out to him. But while we're sitting here chopping it up, I want to say to anybody watching, anybody out there that knows me, stop in and say hello. Don't be a creep, man. Come over here, say hello, and yeah, man. Let's get a conversation started. This is a podcast about nothing. Let me make sure this is playing right. There we go. All right, we in there. We in there. Had to make sure, man. Last time I did a whole stream and couldn't hear a word. Nobody could hear anything. And it was probably the best stream I ever did, too. I'm not even gonna lie. I was actually knocking it down, man. I was knocking it down. It was one of those things where I was in the groove of it. I'm like, oh, wait till people see this one. And I realized once I went back to watch it, the boy didn't have the audio on. You know what I mean? And and this is why I said you're gonna lose your sanity to do the thing you love. Um, you got to be able to stomach bumping your head 10,000 times to just get an inch closer to your goal, and then be okay with it. Let that inch that you get closer to your goal with be the inspiration to get one more inch closer, and you still got a whole football field to crawl. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense to you. For those out there going for their dreams, they should know what I'm talking about. It's you can't think of doing this and have the finish. There is no finish line. The way you have to approach it to really acquire your dream. You can't think of it like, okay, I'm gonna go this far and that's it. And not if you want to do something significant. I don't think that's the mindset I can rock with. Not me personally. It's all or nothing. The finish line is an illusion at that point. There is none. I'm going to do this until it works, and then I'm going to do it even better once it does. That's the mindset. That's the mindset at least I use. I don't know how everybody else gets down, but to me, that's the thing that makes it doable for me. That's the way I get down. That's the way I like to move when I'm doing this stuff. So for anybody out there, man, hey, if you want to hop in the chat, hop in the chat. Like, don't be, you know what I'm saying? Don't be like too good to say hello in here. You know what I mean? And the best part is, so today was all about, this is crazy. All right. So today was all about, I've been doing this stream every, probably every 3 hours. I probably did 10 in the past, 10 in the past 2 or 3 days. And this is what I'm talking about when you said you're going to lose your sanity for this, right? Who does 10 1 hour or 30-minute streams in 3 days? I will. And the reason is because I'll do whatever it takes. If I want to offer this service, the thing that I'm doing now with this streaming service, we're trying to knock out all the kinks. So when the public comes to use this service, it's a flawless production. I want to make sure that I personally experience going through all of the technical dilemmas that will happen in a recording so you don't have to. So if you were to come and spend your hard-earned cash and expect me to be the professional, I want to make sure that I'm not acting like a professional. I actually am one. And for that, it takes reps, man. I got to get some reps in. So y'all going to be seeing my face all weekend. Y'all going to be seeing my face probably for another hour or so tonight. So truthfully, get used to it. That's what I'm telling you. You could either join or, to be honest, you could watch from the sidelines because I ain't stopping. You know what I mean? And if you on the chat, man, say hello. You dig? If you're on the chat, say hello. Don't be a creep on here, man. I see we got somebody on the 1028 podcast on Facebook looking in. Come and say hello. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about, man. This is about engagement. It's a podcast about nothing. And believe me, if you throw a comment in there, we're going to talk about it, regardless of what it is. It can be political. It can be religion. It can be, what you talk about with your therapist, whatever it is. It's a podcast about nothing, but your nothing could be something to someone. So let's talk. Let's talk. All right. Well, let's go. I guess I'll go into my day. So today was actually a magical one, man. I had a chance to stream for those that were watching earlier. I had a chance to get on here and talk some talk, man. I was on here earlier talking about, I think the post I put out there was a hoodie, hoochie daddy shorts, and hand warmers. And literally, I seen a kid with that on today and was talking about the craziness of Pittsburgh weather. Pittsburgh weather got a sense of humor, and she loves to laugh. And she's not very polite either. She's ignorant. Yeah, very, very so. So I talked about that, and that was really cool. And then did another stream talking about entrepreneurship, whatever, blah, blah. But as that was going on in the day, I realized today was also a day to do some community work. I'm on the council. So we just added a play set over in the park Parks and Rec, which is a committee in Sharpsburg, wanted to dedicate the playhouse to the family. And you know what? They just wanted to do a ceremony celebrating the playhouse. So we got a chance to go to the park, cut cake, say a little speech, thank Parks and Rec for all the hard work they do to make the community a better place. Probably the highlight of my day, tell you the truth. Shout out to Parks and Rec at Sharpsburg, man. The best committee, the best parks and recreational committee in the country. I'm gonna call them. Those ladies work hard. And you know what they showed me? Like I have to go. I go to their meetings once a month, and I've never seen a group of people create a vision, not an easy vision, like a vision beyond the grasp of comfort, right? Something that extends beyond them, and then create action steps, and then knock them down so efficiently. It's inspiring, right? Because you read about stuff like that. You read about people in books that plan something out and then execute. And a lot of times for us, we look like, I don't know if I can do that. Even though you want to do it, there's this sense in us that I don't know if I got what it takes to follow through or whatever it may be. And usually I'm like that too. Don't get it twisted. I'm like that too, unless I'm working with a team. See, I can, for some reason, I can let myself down. That's wild to me. I can let me down if I'm by myself. If I'm doing something and it's just me, I can let me down, bro. It is so crazy to me. But when I'm working with a team, I care about people so much, sometimes more than I should, than I care about myself. More than I care about myself. And I'm being honest here, that I refuse to let them down. But if it was just me, I'll let me down. And I realized in this moment, watching Parks and Rec move together as a team, they're not moving for themselves, like for the individual's not moving for her or himself. They are moving in a way of, I can't let my team down. And that's how they have the energy to pull through. See, they say this, they say if your dream could be accomplished just by one person, by you alone, then you ain't dreaming big enough. You got to dream bigger. And also, how can you can't scale a business or scale an idea with one person. And if you can, imagine if there was two of you, how much bigger it could be. See, a lot of times I don't want to work with somebody. And the reason is because I always use the excuse, it'll take me longer to show you what to do than if I was to actually just do it. And I used to say that all the time. I used to actually believe myself when I said that, which was crazy. Like I said it so many times that I believe myself. Maybe I was let down by a few people, but I just didn't want to go through the pain of being let down again, let alone it's already so much effort to do something by yourself that any extra effort, you try to reject it. You know, it's not that you're lazy or whatever. It's just that your bandwidth doesn't hold, your bandwidth is at capacity is what I'm trying to say. You ain't got no more to pour into someone else's cup. You're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got what I got to do, and that's it. I don't want anything extra. I'm pushing it away. It's a thing, man. It's a thing. I lost my train of thought, but hey, if you in the chat, man, why don't you hit me up? What was I just talking about? I want to make sure you guys are engaged. If you're listening, and say hello. And I'm saying hello to you. I appreciate it. It seems like we got 3 viewers on here, and we're talking that talk today. So if you guys are in the chat, say hello to me, man. Say hello. We're up here talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about how entrepreneurship takes more than one person. Because the word ship in there means communication, right? Relationship. That to me, when I hear the word ship in something, to me it means that there has to be a relationship in there. Entrepreneurship uh, shouldn't be done by just one person if you want to get the most out of yourself. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the curse of I can do it all by myself. You know, that's how I like to roll too. That's the problem. I've had so much success or so much good results of me taking care of everything. And that is good in certain senses, in certain like aspects. But when you think about it, there's a ceiling to working like that. And also, you be getting worn out, man. Like burnout's a real thing, and you don't even notice it until you're like 3 months in, which has been weird. The burnout has been the worst thing that I've experienced, and I didn't even know I was going through it. See, there's a difference between thinking you're lazy and just being damn tired. You just be tired. You ain't lazy. Like you go so hard to do something. It's so crazy, right? Because you go so hard to accomplish so many things and you never turn the engine off, right? Think of it like a car. If you leave a car running for 3 days straight and don't turn it off and you get in that car and pull off, man, something's gonna rattle loose. Something's gonna shake loose. You gotta think about that, right? There's a reason why you turn the car off when you're done using it. So when you turn it back on, you get the full capacity of the engine, right? You get the full effect of all of the units working together, right? You let it rest, and when you hop back in, you get full. I'm trying to think of the word. If you're in the chat, put it in there. You know what I'm trying to say, but it's kind of tough. I'm losing it. But there's a reason why you turn the car off and you turn it back on when you get back into it. And we have to learn how to do the same with our minds and our bodies, because I'm doing this research on being proactive and productivity. And they say there's three things that have to work in unison for it to happen, right? You have to have the vision, you have to have motivation, and then you have to have the energy. And if you have two of them, it won't work. You have to have all three, right? The vision is knowing what you want to do. The motivation is the driving force, maybe your purpose, your passion of why this thing needs to be done. And the energy is what it takes to execute. Now you can have the vision and motivation. I almost gave you the middle finger right there. Check that out. But if you have the vision and the motivation to do something, but you don't have the energy, you're just frustrated because you know what needs to be done. You just don't have the willingness to do it, or not the willingness, the energy to do it. You know, we forget the rest is part of the process. Rest is probably more important than the action you're actually doing. We think that the grind has to continue all the way through. That's some bullshit. I look. I was talking to this guy at the coffee shop, right? And he told me where coffee breaks came from. He was like, "Yeah, did you hear the story about where coffee breaks came from?" And I'm like, "No." So he told me. He said during World War II, when they sent all the men overseas to the war, the women were working. They were working at GE or General Motors or whatever these places are, and the women would start complaining after they were working, like I think they would work 8 hours straight and there was no breaks. And they weren't complaining. They were just like, yo, we can't work this all the way through. This is too much, which it was. It was. So they said, can we get 10 minutes in between? And the guy was desperate, the manager that they're talking to, right? Because there's no other people to hire because everyone else is overseas. So what he did was he said, look, I can't really give you this time off, I guess because it's higher ups, but what if you took a break and they would drink coffee rejuvenate themselves, right? Give them something to give them life. So it's like, I'll give you 10 minutes to hydrate and drink coffee, whatever. So that's what happened. And when he implied that they can get that 10 minutes and they start taking that 10 minutes, their productivity doubled in the factories. And it was profound. Their productivity doubled in the factories. So think of it like this. If you're doing a task for 5 hours, right? After hour two, like everything of that third hour is really just struggle time. But if you were to take that 2 hours, take 30 minutes to yourself, and then hit that 2 hours, then hit the following 2 hours, you would get 4.5 hours of actual good work. They even said when it comes to workers, like the best workers in your company, even though they work 8 hours, are only productive for about 3. Did you ever hear that? It's crazy. Shout out to Alux, man. Alux is an app that you can get that'll teach you these different things of how to be productive. And I've been taking the courses, blowing my mind. But they say the most productive person in your company that works 8 hours is only productive for 3. So if you ain't even like the best worker, this is going to be cold-blooded shit right here. But if you ain't the best worker in your company, you really only doing actual work on an 8-hour shift, maybe about 2 hours, bro. Be out here complaining. And it's that extra hour that'll turn you into it'll turn the top 10 into the top 2. It's crazy, right? Crazy, man. So we do take a lot of breaks, but it's what they do in that time. It's not the hours you work, it's how you work and all. It's a lot of things. It's gonna be a lot of things, man. But I'm blabbering now. Hey, you guys got any comments? I see we got 2 listeners on here, both from the 1028 podcast on Facebook. You know how you guys doing? Oh no, this is YouTubing. We YouTubing out here. Shout out to y'all on YouTube that's watching, man. That's the community I'm trying to really kind of grow. So if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm gonna give you the pitch. I'm giving you the pitch. Yeah, you're gonna take it too. You're gonna press the like button, my guy. Definitely do that. Definitely do that. And shout out to y'all if you ain't subscribed already. So, man, what's the next move out here? What's the next move? Let's talk that talk. Let's go back into it. Let's give me a topic. Give me anything you want. Say anything you want in the comments, and your boy will respond. But I guess since we're here, let's just keep going with you got to lose your sanity, right? Rational thinking is not counterproductive when it comes down to dreaming and finding your vision. I think when it comes down to this thing that we want that is greater than anything we've ever seen or it's not even familiar to us, like in a tangible way, you gotta dream beyond what your rational mind is going to allow you to. But you got to you got to be delusional. You got to be delusional. Imagine this. Imagine the guy who said, I want to go to the moon. Imagine that dude. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Imagine that dude. Imagine the guy that woke up, went into the office and said, you see that thing in the sky over there? That round thing? They were like, that's the moon. I don't want to just go there. I want to walk on it. They're going to put that man, you know where they're going to put that man? They're going to put him in a straitjacket. And then, but that's not it though, because he didn't just go over there and say, I want to go to the moon and walk on it. He told them, I want to build a flying device the size of a skyscraper that'll take you all the way up there and you can land on it and then not just land on it, we can we can also come back home. And you got to think about this, man. You got to think about this. Imagine the first conversation that man had. What do you think they told him? That shit ain't possible. That's impossible, is what they told him. You know what happens when I hear the word impossible, bro? You know what happens? I strap on my. I know I'm going somewhere. That means I got something special. If I believe I can do it and you don't, for some reason, for me, it turns me on. That no Diddy, but it turns me on though, fam. Like that's the thing that sparks something in me that I got something special. Because in my mind, I've put it in there that it could be done. But let's not get too much off topic. Imagine the guy that walked into NASA, the smartest people in the world, and said, "This is what I want to do." And then they're going to tell him you're crazy. But he didn't just tell them this is what he wants to do. He believed it so much that he made them believe that it was possible, to the point where they put more money than they ever put in anything else in this world to actually accomplish it. And they did it. And you know what happened when they did it? It inspired not just, it didn't just inspire our country once they did that. It inspired the world. It's still inspiring other scientists and engineers still to this day. That he did the impossible. Have you ever heard of the 4 minute mile? Let's go there. You want to talk about impossible and why doing the impossible is the most beautiful thing to me. That's my loss for words. It's the most beautiful thing. I'm getting emotional here. I'm gonna tell you why. For me, the 4 minute mile story is the pinnacle of all of this. The 4 minute mile story goes like this. They thought the 4 minute mile, to run a mile in less than 4 minutes, was impossible. They said it can't be done. They said you got to be tripping. You can't do this. They said you can't do this. And then thousands of people tried it. Thousands and thousands of people tried it, man. And they couldn't get it done. But one day, one man, I wish I could remember his name. His name is I'm losing his name right now, but one man ran it. And he ran it under 4 minutes. Because in everybody's mind, it was impossible. But there was something special that happened once that man ran that mile under 3 minutes, on 4 minutes. There was something special that happened. And what it was this. After he ran that mile under 4 minutes, within months, there were hundreds of people that also ran that same 4 minute mile that was impossible just a few months earlier. And you know what happened? You know why that is? Because once you see something done, once you see that it's possible, it unlocks something in your mind that's saying, oh, you can think bigger. And you have to think bigger to do bigger. And that's why I say you have to lose your sanity to thrive. You have to lose rational thinking. Rational thinking is not counterproductive in this process right here, fam. And I don't know how you could do it, but you got to I had to find a way. I'm not going to say you. I hate when people just direct it like, ooh, you're watching, it has to be you. But me personally, I had to find a way to get out of the box of sanity. And that's crazy, but that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Man, I want to thank all y'all, man, for joining me on this live stream. I'm testing it out. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Let me know if you can't. But when it comes down to it, I'm just appreciative, man. I'm appreciative of the responses I've been getting in the pod lately. And I thank y'all, man. I thank y'all. This is showing me as well that this this way of talking, this way of communicating is effective. And I am starting to reach out to more people. More people are starting to reach out to me as well. Uh, and, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'm sorry. Right now, I'm looking down, trying to figure out if this is working out properly because I want to make sure you guys can hear me and everything's going good. And I'm not getting any responses. I do see three people watching on YouTube, man. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully, y'all living your best life, and no one's trying to take your smile. And if they are, you don't let them. Fight for that thing, baby. Fight for that. Hello. Um, but I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds, man. I'll be no, I'm not going anywhere. You know what? I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna stay on here. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna be transparent. It's a thing going down. Why don't y'all check out this new overlay that I put together? This is a Did y'all see that? And we actually have an intro, and it's a podcast about nothing. So if you guys give me some time, we can continue this going, we can continue talking. Uh, you know, don't be creepy. I'm gonna say hello. Where you from? Where you from? That's important. Are you from somewhere across the world? Let's see where we're at, man. Let's see where you guys at. Where you from? You from Spain? You from Kentucky? You know? Let me know where you're at now. All right, wait a moment. If you guys are watching and you're in the Pittsburgh area, anywhere on the East Coast, not the East Coast, you're in the Pittsburgh area, see me, man. I'm here at 1028, I'm sorry, 1020 North Canal. It's called QT Studios. We built this out. Talking about insanity. Yeah, we just insanity to thrive. We built it about 2 years ago. Uh, it was an idea. It was just an idea. I did a show and I met this investor, and bada bing, bada boom. Um, After he told me I purchased this building that was outside of this coffee shop. We went outside the coffee shop and looked at it. He said, "I just bought that, and this is what I want to do." And he came and I quit my job. I was working as a security guard right before then, and I quit my job to become a full time artist. Talk about rational thinking is counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? Imagine telling your wife that. Imagine telling your wife, "Yo, I'm leaving this job," which it wasn't like the greatest job ever, but there was some type of security there. I told her I was leaving this job, not to find another job, to never work another job again. And she was like, "What you gonna do?" I told her, I looked her dead in the eye. I said, "I'm gonna do art. I'm gonna make art." Yo, I know how that guy who went to the moon had to. I know how the guy who had to persuade everyone that we can make it to the moon. The first guy who ever did that, I know how he felt because the look on her face will haunt me forever. Actually, I use it as fuel. She said, "You're gonna what?" I looked at it again. I said, "Baby, I'm gonna do art. I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna create things you can put on your wall, and it's gonna make so much money that we'll be able to buy a mansion. And I believed it too. And I still do. I still do. See, it wasn't what I said, it was how I said it. And how she loves me as well too. But it wasn't what I said, it was how I said it. She knew, she knew that there was something in my voice, there was something in my demeanor that was different. It was undeniable. There was, they say the most dangerous thing in this world is a human soul on fire. And I was lit. Reading books. I'm still reading books to this day. I was able to break down not just what I wanted to do, but how I wanted to do it. The same thing I was talking about with Parks and Rec, that committee is part of Sharpsburg. I talked about earlier in the stream, how they would come up with a vision, the action steps. I had this thing laid out. And within 2.5, she gave me 3 months. She said, I'll give you 3 months. I'll give you 3 months, and then you got to go back to work if you don't make anything happen. It took me two. Within 2 months, I did an art show, sold 90% of my work, made $2,500 off of $40 worth of supplies. Met an investor at the art show. Go outside. He tells me he bought the building across the street, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to just do something with it. He wants me to do something with it with him. And then gave me a salary that made 2.5 times more than I was getting paid as a security guard. I did it in 2 months, but it took my whole life really to get there. If I was rational, if I was thinking rationally, it would never happen. I would never be right here talking with you in that very building. We have 12 art studios upstairs, a gallery, venue space downstairs where we do not just art gallery exhibitions, we also do the comedy shows. Tomorrow we have an event going on with, I guess it's like Girls Day Out. They're coming here and they're going to be 20 tables set up downstairs. I mean, we have bands that perform here. And now we have the podcast studio that we don't just record podcasts, but we also now offer stream. Now, if I was rational, if I had rational thinking throughout this whole process, this would never happen. Those two that are on the end of the phone or the computer that is watching, thank you. Because you are actually part of my dream. You are part of my dream, and I appreciate you for sticking in there with me. For whoever's watching, if you're on the other side of the screen, you're watching this, you have helped me at this moment conquer a dream. And I appreciate you. So let me know where you're from. Put it in the chat. But rational thinking would have never got me there. Would have never got me there. And if you're just joining, don't be a creep. Don't be a creep. Put where you're from down in the comment section, man. Don't be a watcher, be a doer. that's gonna be the name of the game. But I think I'm actually going to be out, man, because I'm running out of battery life when it comes down to my Zoom, and it's time for me to get some sleep. I got a big day ahead of me tomorrow. But I want to thank everyone that's watching, everyone that's listening, everyone that's going to rewatch this. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I damn sure can't wait for the next one. Look, I'm going to be streaming in the morning. Like literally, I'll probably be back here within 6-7 hours, right back in this seat. getting right back at it. And I'm going to add something new on the next stream. I think the next thing I want to do is music. Add some type of music in stream to keep it going. Maybe add a video where we can react to those type of things. But every time I touch this thing, it has to be something new. It just has to be that way. Right now I'm streaming not just on YouTube, I'm also streaming on a Facebook group as well as my profile, as well as the page, my original page. So there is a lot going into this. You know what I mean? There is something new about this one. And speaking of that, if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna show you my intro to this. Stay tuned. Look at this right here. Yeah, just had to show you one more time. This is a podcast about nothing with your boy Corey Ochai. I want to thank everyone that participated in this stream tonight, and I appreciate you. Can't wait to see you on the next one. If you're on here, subscribe, follow, do what you do. If you don't want to, it's cool. Just put me in the watch later list, whatever you want to do, because I'm gonna be here. And you can either join or you can just watch. Either way, I'm gonna do what I do because that's what we do here. So go out there, do something beautiful to you, and don't let nobody take your smile, man. Ever, ever. And when they try to, because they will, it's your responsibility to keep it as long as possible. Don't let nobody put it in their pocket. It's in you, it ain't on you. So even though it ain't on your face, it's still in you. You can pull it out when you need to. But that sounded real sketchy. No Diddy is the word. I don't know what they use these days. But anyway, I'm out. Have a good one. Appreciate you.